Hello, and welcome to Say It Naturally. If you've ever felt unsure about your pronunciation or hesitant about using your voice in English, you're in the right place. I'm Jenny. I'm an English pronunciation and neurolanguage coach. And in this podcast, I share insights, reflections, and simple ideas to help you feel more at ease, more confident, and more natural when you speak. And if you're a teacher, I'll also be sharing occasional teacher's notes you can take into your classroom. I'm really glad you're here. Many people come to me with the question of what is the difference between accent and pronunciation? And many people assume that because I'm a pronunciation coach, I help people change their accent. And that's simply not the case. For me, accent is about our identity. We all have an accent. I have an accent, you have an accent, and we all have unique accents in every language we speak because our accents reflect our background, our culture, and the languages that we speak. On the other hand, pronunciation is all about clarity and understanding, and that goes both ways, making yourself understood and also comprehending others. I'd like to be totally clear here that you can speak with your accent and still be clearly understood. There may be certain sounds that don't exist in your mother tongue, which you may need to work on to clarify. Perhaps word stress or sentence stress changes from one language to another. And intonation can also have a big impact on how we are understood and on how we comprehend what other people are saying. So often people come to me saying that they want to sound like a native. First of all, which native do you want to sound like? Because there are hundreds of different accents. Within the UK alone, there are over 40 different regional accents. And within each accent, there'll be variations. I remember my granddad grew up in the East End of London, and he always claimed that he could tell which side of the road someone came from on his street because of their accent. Now, I don't know about that. However, when we focus on this one goal to sound a certain way, this can actually harm our progress and our confidence because communicating in a language isn't about imitating how someone else speaks. As I said last week, it's about finding your voice, and that includes speaking in your own accent. I think that it's important to remember that the reason we learn languages, any language, is to communicate with other people, and that should be our focus. And we need to be speaking clearly, focusing on clarity. And if you're a teacher, here's a short teacher's note you can take into your classroom. Your learners don't need to lose their accent to be understood. However, they do need support in focusing on what really makes a difference. And you can guide them by prioritizing intelligibility over imitation. This might mean helping them notice key sounds, word stress, and rhythm rather than encouraging them to copy a specific accent. When learners understand that clarity is the goal, not perfection, they often feel more confident and more willing to speak. It can also help them focus their effort in a more effective way, which leads to more meaningful progress over time. By shifting the focus in this way, you help your learners build communication skills that are both clear and authentic to them. So the key thing to remember is this. Clarity comes from focusing on what matters most. The message you're communicating and the connection with others, not from trying to sound like someone else. Next time, we'll explore what's happening in your brain when you learn a language and how working with your brain rather than against it can make learning feel more natural and more effective. Thank you for listening today. I hope something in this episode gave you a little more ease or a new way of thinking about your voice. And if you'd like more support with your own pronunciation or confidence, you can find me at excellenceinenglisheducation.com. I work with learners and teachers who want to feel more comfortable and natural in their spoken English. There'll be a new episode of Say It Naturally next week, and I'd love for you to join me again. Until then, take care of yourself and your voice.